Good evening, everybody. This is Whiskey Whispers, and I'm doing a little impromptu whispering video here. Well, I guess it's more a softly spoken video at this point. I'm sitting out on my porch on a little balcony on the second floor of my house, and probably hear in the background there's a little bit of traffic noise from the street near the house, and you might hear some crickets in the background, and there are also some of the frogs have started to come out. It's a little before 8 o'clock here, and the sun has gone down, and the moon is out. It's actually almost full right now, but it's kind of tucked behind clouds at the moment. But it's really kind of amazing because the clouds are not really full, they're just kind of peppered throughout the sky. And right where the moon is, there are a few kind of patchy clouds that are very dark, that are covering it up, but then there's also this kind of patina of very thin clouds, and you can see the hint of moonlight behind it. And it's kind of like when if you've got a lamp or something with a colored light bulb in it, and you put some semi-transparent cloth, like a translucent cloth, over the light, and the light is dimmed somewhat, so you can't really see the light bulb. You can't really see the lampshade in full relief, but you have the hint of the light, and it's really quite beautiful. And I was at various times in my life, I've tried to be a good Buddhist practitioner. As I was growing up, both my parents were Buddhists, and they've been practicing Buddhists for a couple of decades now. And ever so often they give me books to read. I listen to Dharma talks sometimes. I've gone to meditation centers. But I can't say that my practice has been especially consistent, and I'm really not always the best practitioner. But I return to it ever so often, and there are certain bits of Buddhism that I try to incorporate into my daily life whenever I can. And one of the things I was thinking about tonight was the message of the Heart Sutra, which has to do primarily with gratitude and equanimity and forgiveness. And these are all really important qualities or skills, I guess, depending on how you look at it, to have in your daily life. And they're things that seem very simple, but they're also really easy to forget, really easy to lose sight of. And the way I started thinking about this was that I live in the desert, and it has been sweltering here for the past couple of weeks. We've had record temperatures. I mean, we've had 115 degree days, and it's just been miserable. You walk outside, and pretty much 5 seconds after you leave the house, your clothes are sticking to you. It feels terrible. And even the nights are very hot. It takes the air conditioning a long time to start working sometimes. It's not always especially effective. And I'll lie in bed sweltering sometimes. But tonight, it's gorgeous. It's really atypical for a late summer desert evening. It's probably low 80s, very low humidity, probably 10% maybe. There's a gentle breeze that's blowing in. There's a wash near my house, and some trees, and a little bit of open desert. And I have a giant saguaro cactus in my backyard, and a little mesquite tree, and a couple of agave plants. My dog is barking at another neighbor dog. She's kind of clicking around here on the porch. Anyway, the breeze is lovely blowing in off the desert, and the sound of the crickets in the background is really soothing. And even the traffic noise is kind of comforting for some reason tonight. And I was just feeling this immense sense of gratitude well up within me. Just gratitude that I live in such a beautiful place. Gratitude for the night, this great feeling, the sense of relief. The feeling of the breeze on my skin as it passes across. And it really just, this is going to sound really cheesy, but it really just warmed my heart. And as I was feeling that, my awareness starts to expand a little bit, and I realized that, I have this to be grateful for, but there's so much else in my life that I have great gratitude for. And that's always kind of one of the ways that Buddhist meditation works, is that you often start by meditating on something very small, very local. Loving kindness meditations, for example, they start often by giving yourself loving kindness, appreciating your own beauty, wishing that you yourself are well and happy. And then your awareness expands outwards. You think about your family, people that you see every day, your friends, other kind of peripheral loved ones. Then your awareness expands even farther, and you think about the people in your town, the people that have influenced your community, the people in your country, the heroes that you look up to. You send loving kindness to other parts of the world. So you have this stepped process where your awareness gets larger and larger. And by the end of a good loving kindness meditation, you just feel this great love and equanimity and sense of hope and well-being for yourself and for everyone, really. And gratitude works much in the same way. I think about just how beautiful the night is and how grateful I am to live in this place. And then it kind of expands. I'm grateful for the life that I have, grateful to be able to have a job that fulfills me, a place to go every day, have a lovely house to come home to, have a family that I cherish my time with, that I look forward to seeing, that the relationships I have with them enrich me every day. I feel grateful for my health, for the fact that I have all my limbs, that I don't have any sicknesses, that I'm able to go out and enjoy the world and enjoy nature. I'm grateful for the people around me that contribute to my community. The people who, in subtle, simple ways that perhaps I'm not always even mindful of, make my life easier, make it more bearable. I'm grateful, and this is a very silly one, but grateful for YouTube to exist, for there to be this great community of whisperers and thinkers and lovers and artists that kind of cross-pollinate and contribute to one another and expand one another's awareness. And it's one of the things with meditation and mantra is that if you think about things enough and you repeat these messages to yourself, I am grateful for my health. I am grateful for the house in which I live. I'm grateful for the family that loves me. Even if it seems a little artificial at first, the feeling really takes root. And by the end of the meditation, by the end of your period of reflection, you have a great sense of love and gratitude and well-being. There's a real, I find I have even physiological effects sometimes. I feel a sense of warmth, a literal sense of warmth. Sometimes my heart will beat a little bit faster. I'll become a little bit more aware of its patter. My breath becomes deeper and more refreshing. Just if you if you tell yourself these things enough, if you go through your mantra, if you go through the things that you're grateful for, the things that you love, the things that make you happy, then you will feel happiness, you will feel well-being, you will feel equanimity. And that's really all anybody wants, right? So the Heart Sutra deals a great deal with gratitude, and it also deals with forgiveness, right? Because without forgiveness, we're stuck. If you go through your day dwelling on the things that have made you upset, the ways that you feel you've disappointed yourself, the way you feel others have let you down, those are negative emotions that really work against the feelings of warmth and well-being and equanimity that you have otherwise. So sometimes I find it helpful in these moments where I'm feeling especially good to forgive myself. So this week has been a really trying one, and I've found, as I prepare for school starting up and students coming back into my classroom, my anxiety is really heightened, and I found myself becoming irritable and short with people. And it's certainly not their fault. Everybody's going through the same thing. All my coworkers are. No one has done anything to be deliberately harmful or mean. They're just going through the same thing I am. But I may not react appropriately. And I pride myself on being someone who treats people with dignity and respect and kindness. So when I have those moments of irritability or short temper, I take it really to heart, and I feel pretty bad about myself sometimes. But if I become mindful of my behavior and mindful of my actions, I'm able to forgive. And if I can forgive, then I can move on. I can continue with my day productively. I forgive people who have hurt me, past loves, who maybe I feel didn't treat me so well. I have to let go of those feelings. The Heart Sutra tells us that every decision we make is a choice to either feel grievance or feel happiness. And it's a choice that we have to make continuously throughout our days. It's not as though you can simply just decide to be happy and then let it sit. You have to consciously and mindfully remind yourself, I choose to let go of grievance. I choose to embrace happiness. I choose to forgive and be grateful. And believe you me, I'm not I'm not an authority on any of this, and I don't always do an especially good job of forgiving and forgetting, or being grateful for the things that I have. But I am grateful that I at least have the presence of mind once in a while to reflect. And that is really the beginning of practice there. Even if you can be mindful once a week, just sit down and think to yourself, I'm being mindful of my feelings. I am choosing now to forgive. I am choosing now to be grateful. You have improved your quality of life, at least to a certain degree. And then eventually, hopefully your practice continues and you're able to expand that mindfulness out of the one time a week and throughout your week, throughout your year, throughout your life. And it becomes a natural part of who you are. So that was a little bit of an unstructured ramble. I hope the background noise wasn't too distracting. I'll listen to this before I post it. But thank you very much for listening, and I hope everyone is having as lovely and beautiful and calm an evening as I am. So good night.